Lines one into left field. That's down in front of Bellinger. Arise has scored. Machado's on his way. The throw to the plate is up the line. A two-run single for Xander. And the Padres lead it for the first time tonight.
A stunning victory indeed last night for the Friars as they rally for 4 runs in the 8th inning and topple the Bronx Bombers 4-3. Welcome into Gwynn and Chris, everybody. Tuesday edition on San Diego's number one sports talk station, 97.3 The Fan. 2:01 is the time. Chris Ello here, Matt Scraby, alongside in the Odyssey Palace studios, Tony Gwynn Jr. getting things done prior to tonight's broadcast. He and Jesse will have it for you. And we may as well tell you right off the bat, unlike yesterday, there is no chit-chat or chatter about any rain out today. It looks like they're going to play. It looks like they're going to play as scheduled. That could change, of course, but if until further notice. Now, yesterday, everybody just assumed it was rained out, told us it was rained out.
Can I just celebrate?
I know. See, we're happy about this because for once, you people that are so sure of yourselves were actually wrong, right? Yes. And we told you, let's just wait and see how it goes. Nothing official had ever been decided. And although they very well could have called that game 2 or 3 different times, it was absolutely pouring in a couple of instances.
Say it was dangerous.
How Robert Suarez was throwing 100-mile-per-hour darts through a rainstorm is beyond me. What was it, Anthony Volpe leading off the 9th inning?
Yeah.
He was like trying to hit with a waterfall coming off in front of his helmet.
I'll take it, though.
Yeah, so look, both teams had to play in the same conditions. And look, the Padres came up with a great win. This is win number, 23 on the year. They all count the same. I get it. Every win counts the same, but that one felt like it counted a little more. And so, you take those and you pile them in with the rest and you move on to tonight's game and you hope you can find a way to win. You got Michael King on the mound. You got to feel pretty good about your chances. And you got the right-hander, Clark Schmidt, for the Yankees tonight. And the Padres are supposed to get Jackson Merrill back. Now, as far as that particular bit of news is concerned, again, let's wait and see what happens before we all start surmising what is going to happen. It has been discussed. It has been rumored. It has almost basically been reported that he'll be back tonight. But will they put him in the lineup tonight? We don't know yet. Why? No lineup has been released, and the Padres haven't sent out anything official saying that Jackson Merrill has been activated from the injured list. So without either of those two things, we cannot tell you definitively whether or not Jackson Merrill is back tonight or not. I honestly could see a situation where Mike Shildt, as he decides, along with A.J. Preller, whether or not to bring back Jackson Merrill tonight, envisions Brandon Lockridge last night running over into the alley, stopping a base hit, and both feet slipping out from underneath him, and him going right down on that turf. Now, he made a nice play, got the ball back in, and luckily Goldschmidt wasn't running hard out of the batter's box, which is normal for today's athlete. Had he been running hard and busting it, he might have got 2 on that, but he was lollygagging down the line. So when Lockridge fell down, Goldschmidt couldn't take advantage of it. That's one of my pet peeves. You know that. But if I'm Mike Shildt, that kind of flashes through my head before I put Jackson Merrill in center field in Yankee Stadium under lousy conditions. We'd love to have him back, but the worst thing ever would be for him to be chasing after a ball in the gap.
Oh, don't even say.
Well, believe me, they're going to think about it, right?
Don't even. Oh, of course they're going to think about it. Okay,
so that's all I'm saying. He's not back yet. You have the lineup?
No, I'm giving you bad hand signals. I'm just saying I just texted you something. So
okay, thank you.
But yes, it does sound like he's going to be back because he did an interview before the game. Here's just a small part of what he talked about with the media earlier. This just came into my inbox.
Good.
Jackson, how good does it feel to be back?
Thank God. Thank God. No, I'm excited. Yankee Stadium, cool place, so I'm excited to get going.
All right, we'll go through that a little bit later, but it sounds like he's going to be in the lineup at some point.
All right, well, Tony Gwynn Jr. is in the lineup, and he is there at Yankee Stadium. What a night that was last night, T. Not only from just a night in the wild rainstorm, but a great victory. One that seems like it meant a little more than just an another everyday victory. Oh, you meant wait, Tony's not there? All right, your message to me was unclear.
Okay, I'm sorry. We're trying to do some. We don't have a talkback button, so.
Oh, well, that's a problem.
Yes, no. I'm not sure about Tony. He is not there. I was just telling you that we had a Jackson Merrill interview.
All right, so we're like we're getting our signals crossed. It does happen.
It does.
All right. Anyway, we'll see. Jackson Merrill. Okay, so he says he's back. Until I see his name in a lineup, and Mike Schilt agrees that he's back, we'll just leave that open for the moment.
I agree with you. I mean, my phone keeps telling me that Jackson Merrill's in my fantasy lineup and he is not supposed to play. I keep telling my phone, you are wrong, phone. You are wrong.
Yeah, lineup's not there. So until it is, we'll just have to wait and see. But, it's neither here nor there. I mean, you get your 6th straight win here last night, and Xander Bogaerts, for the 3rd time in the 6-game winning streak, comes up with the big play. He not only had the 2-run go-ahead single last night, which I know we all are aware of, but do you remember who made an unbelievable play in the 1st inning to throw out Aaron Judge trying to scamper home?
Mr. Bogaerts?
Yeah, the guy who doesn't have a good arm, the guy who can't throw, the guy who is, too old to play that position, the guy you don't trust defensively. That ball bounced away. They shot, the camera went over to Judge running home. I'm like, oh, he's in.
Lumbering.
He's in, though.
Yeah.
The ball's over here. He's not going to get there in time. His momentum's going away from home plate, and he can't throw. Well, apparently still can, because he threw a pretty good dart home, and I give Elias Diaz, credit for a nice tag. Took both plays to get the out, but that run turned out to be pretty important as well. And after the game last night, Scraby, you saw this. A lot of you listeners probably saw this. I risked it. I decided to go on Twitter last night.
Oh, I was like, what?
I risked it. I decided to go on Twitter last night. I almost talked myself out of it. You know how we tell you to just don't hit send?
Yeah, think before send.
Right. I thought before send, and I thought, you know what? This is going to be worth it, even if I have to take some heat for it. And I sent out, hello, Xander haters. Are we going to hear anything from you tonight? And I can't go through every, response I got. But the most common one I got was, oh, so what? It was one game.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Or, oh, what? He's finally living up to the deal.
I got that one too. But a lot of it was, so what? It's one game. But here's the thing. It's not one game. He won the game on Sunday with 3 RBIs. He won the first game of the Giants series with a hit in the first inning that broke the ice against Logan Webb, and then a 2-run homer that clinched it. Basically, during this 6-game win streak, Xander Bogaerts has not been single-handedly, because no one's ever single-handedly responsible for a win, but of the 6 wins in this win streak, Xander Bogaerts has a pretty good fingerprint on 3 of them.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, how many other Padres this year have been responsible, would you say, for 3 wins? Because if everyone has been responsible for 3 wins, there's 25 guys on the team. Padres would have 75 wins right now.
I'll take it.
My point being, 3 wins is pretty good.
It's
for
really
those
good.
of you who want to, just brush it aside. You can't brush it aside. It's a big deal. He's helped you win half this win streak. Now, is he going to help you win tonight? I don't know. Is he going to go for 4? I don't know. But for everybody that just lives their life to be critical of Xander Bogaerts, I honestly, at this point, feel sorry for you. I really do. I mean, just stop doing it and watch the guy play ball.
From a really, really good listener, KG, Xander does his job. Everyone, where are the haters at? Also, there's another one from John. Talk that 254 average up, boy. Like, I'm convinced that there are just people out there that would like for Xander Bogaerts to do poorly. And they want to see that happen, because no matter what he does in these games, it's always, oh, he didn't live up to the contract. People are so focused on the stupid contract. It doesn't matter at this point. He's on the team. He's not going anywhere. Cheer for him.
Yes, he finally came through. Thank goodness. Outside of that, he's been mostly terrible. It's okay. You are going to think what you think. I'm going to tell you what's going on. And what's going on right now is that the guy's been pretty darn responsible for 3 of your wins in this 6-game win streak. I'll take that. I'll take it. Also, even if he isn't responsible for 1 more win the rest of the month, 3 per month is not bad at all. Take it. Move on.
I get it. I'm with you. I'm fully with you. And I don't know why I do this, because I was on the Hosmer side, which ended up not being the right side of things to be. But I'm on the Xander Bogaerts side, because Xander, I said this on the Scravy Show last week. If Xander Bogaerts was a guy who was playing terribly and just didn't seem like he cared, then it would be a different story for me. But he does care. And he's not playing up to his contract. But now he's starting to play a little bit better. He's starting to get in the rhythm. Like, let's see where this can go. Let's just forget about the Xander hate and rally around the team.
I don't think that he's going to ever play up to his contract unless he wins the MVP every year, because that's the way he's being paid. But so are a lot of other guys. I mean, do you want me to spend the next segment, just for fun, because we're out of time in this one, do you want me to spend the next segment explaining out there how many hundreds of millions of dollars teams have blown on free agents so far this season?
I started a list, Chris. We are thinking on the same.
It's
Anthony Rendon.
Well, all right. Anthony Rendon's old news. How about just starting off with Blake Snell, and how about adding in Michael Conforto just off the top for the Dodgers? I just start there. Tyler Glasnow, throw him in.
I was just trying to think of his name.
Look,
I couldn't forget it.
The only free agent, Roki Sasaki, finally got his first win. The only free agent the Dodgers have who has been a hill of beans at all is our guy Tanner Scott. And he hasn't been the closer every time. They've gone with a bunch of other guys. There's plenty of people out there that have wasted a lot of money. The Padres probably spent too much on Xander.
Yes.
But they got him. So now that they have him, why root against him? You make no sense. We'll take a break. More Gwynn and Chris. It's a quick show today ahead of Padre baseball on 97.3 The Fan.
Just hearing the
these things. It even tells you, hey, there's a canyon over here. Don't hit it here.
Scraby from about 45 feet. His caddy tells him to play it a little to the right. He's been playing well so far today. 4th hole. Nice smooth delivery. Hit it too hard.
Sasquatch. So Chris says that he can't play golf, but this is the second birdie putt he's made for us. This time it was like 20 feet.
Thank you very much, Greg. But once again, you're hitting some very nice shots as well. I'm not usually complimentary to you, but I can't help but be complimentary. Your shot making today.
With my what?
Your shot making. You hit some.
These things. It even tells you, hey, there's a canyon over here. Don't hit it here.
Scraby from about 45 feet. His caddy tells him to play it a little to the right. He's been playing well so far today. Fourth hole. Nice smooth delivery. Hit it too hard.
Sasquatch.
So Chris says that he can't play golf, but this is the second birdie putt he's made for us. This time it was like 20 feet.
Thank you very much, Greg. But once again, you're hitting some very nice shots as well. I'm not usually complimentary to you, but can't help but be complimentary. Your shot making today.
With my what?
Your shot making. You hit some.
These things, it even tells you, hey, there's a canyon over here, don't hit it here.
Scraby from about 45 feet. His caddy tells him to play it a little to the right. He's been playing well so far today. Fourth hole. Nice smooth delivery. Hit it too hard.
Crisello, Matt Scraby, Gwynn and Chris, 97.3, The Fan. Padres, Yankees game 2 tonight. Like I said, whatever we want to talk about, it was just a really cool game to win. And Suarez, in the ninth inning, throwing these, BBs through the rain. That was about as hard as I've ever seen him throw. The thing will register 100 or a hundo or 101, but some nights it even looks faster. Right. The machine measures what it measures, but Yankees weren't touching that stuff. They just weren't.
Do you think he was throwing it so fast it heated the rain around it?
Well, I think when, poor Volpe, because honestly, you could see the water coming in front of his eyes. I don't know how
Nick Pivetta had to deal with some bad stuff in the fourth inning, so it was fair on each side.
Oh, yeah. No, both teams had to play in the same conditions. There's no question. And, look, it would have sucked to lose a game to Trent Grisham home run. I'll tell you that.
Oh, yeah.
But
yes.
But luckily we can put that away because you rallied. Manny in his career is hitting 352 when he bats with the bases loaded.
Really?
Not bad.
No.
Not bad at all.
Still no 3-run home runs this year, though.
We still don't have one of those. Yeah, we're up to 169 plate appearances with no 3-run homers or no grand slams, but doesn't seem to be affecting us. All right. Here's my last thing on Xander Bogaerts, and then you go ahead, and after he goes 0 for 4 tonight, or if he goes 0 for 4 tonight, you can complain away. That's fine, and say, well, we've spent too much money, and he's not worth it. I'll give you Corbin Burns, who's got a $210 million contract over 6 years. I'll give you Blake Snell, who's on the IL for $182. I'll give you Willie Adames, who just finally now hit his second home run, $182 million signing. I'll give you Sean Manaea, $75 million. He's not even playing. I'll give you Teoscar Hernandez at $66 million, who's probably headed to the IL now that he hurt his hamstring last night.
Oh, I didn't see that.
Is going for an MRI today.
Oh, wow.
I'll give you Christian Walker. The Astros are not pleased with $60 million.
No, he's brutal right now.
Well, look, I'll give you Jurickson, all right, $42 million to be suspended, basically. I'll give you Jock Peterson for $37 million, who went 40 at bats without a single hit. Even our guy Hassan Kim, he's making $29 million.
He hasn't played a
hasn't
game.
Stepped out of the dugout, right? Walker Buehler, they gave him $21 million. Why? You knew he'd get hurt, and he's hurt. Michael Conforto, $17 million. He's in an 0 for 32 slump right now. The Dodgers are trying to figure out what should they do with him. I'm not picking on those guys. Max Scherzer, another one. Charlie Morton, I got to get him in. $15 million for an 0-10 record, or 0-6 with an ERA of 10. The point is, everybody takes shot at free agents. Some of them don't work at all.
Yeah.
We're at least getting some return on the investment with Xander, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
Xander's
not as
also,
much as you want.
Yes.
But it could be a whole lot worse.
Because Xander's a guy who, like, I don't think we give him enough credit for this, that he plays a lot of games. He does not miss games very often. I know he had a freak injury last year. I think he broke his shoulder blade.
He posts.
Yeah, he does. He posts, and that's a huge deal. Like, thinking about Manny posting, we never have to worry about a third baseman ever, because if Manny's not in there, you got someone to fill in for the day. But he's always there. Xander Bogaerts always there. Luis Ariz, outside of getting knocked over by Mauricio Dubon, always there.
One last thing on Bogaerts. Does he have a good arm, a strong arm? Probably not what it once was.
Yeah.
But when he needed it, it was there last night. Shouldn't compare him to the great Jerry Rice. But they always said I will. They said Jerry Rice was too slow. They said it his whole career. But if you ever see a highlight of somebody catching Jerry Rice running for a touchdown, let me know. I don't know how fast he was. I just know that he made it to the end zone every time.
He seemed to run by corners all the time.
So, look, Xander is not Jerry Rice. I'm not, you know what I mean? But when he needed to make the play last night, he made it. That was a big play.
It was.
So, all right, enough on Xander.
All right.
Like I said, I'm not going to I might change one person's mind. The rest of the people, next time he pops up with the bases loaded, are going to go right into the, we wasted all this money.
If he if he goes over 4 tonight or something, I'm not going on Twitter.
Oh yes, I will get obliterated. Right? That was it. Where are you tonight, Chris? I don't see you on here tonight, Chris. By the way,
we're just having fun, people. It's not. We're just having
people
fun
take it so
with
crazy.
They take it so seriously. We're just having fun talking Padres. Hey, did anybody realize that they won the game last night?
Big win, big old win. And did you realize that one of the funniest headlines on ESPN.com, maybe ever written, was written this morning, and it said, Schilt, irate over Tatis ejection, throws his glasses.
Oh.
That's the headline. I loved it. Look. The umpire, was it Adrian Johnson?
I think so,
yes,
yeah.
He was driving the Padres crazy all night. I get that. And it boils up, and you get to a point where, like, one more, and you're going to snap.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Fernando snapped, struck out. We don't know what he said, because Fernando conveniently said after the game, I forgot, which is a pretty good answer, honestly.
Sorry, Fernando, I don't believe you.
Well, we know obviously we don't believe him, but he wouldn't tell anybody. That's fine. Whatever it was, it would immediately got him kicked out. And I will say that Adrian Johnson didn't overdo it. Just gave him the quick, that's it. You're gone. I got to get rid of you.
But what did he say for his first ejection? I mean,
well, I'm sure there was swearing, and I'm sure there was some personal attack.
Well, was it your breath stinks?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't think so. But Mike Schilt couldn't wait to get out there.
Oh, he was ready.
He wanted to come out there 2 or 3 pitches before. And I love it. You know how I ask for this stuff all the time. Baseball doesn't have enough of this stuff.
You do.
Mike Schilt, he threw his glasses. It took everything he had not to just spit his gum right into the umpire's face. And he wouldn't have done it intentionally. But his gum was flying around in his mouth.
It was.
As he was yelling. He was doing a great job of keeping it under control. But this is what you want. I don't think there's too many managers who wouldn't have gone out and stuck up for their ball player, but the way that Schilt did it was fantastic. And for the Padres to respond the way they did, it's awesome. It's absolutely awesome. And even though Adrian Johnson stunk and, Schilt was all over him, after that happened, to me, he went right back and umped his game. And there were some close pitches that he, didn't give to the Yankees. So, at least in that instance, I thought it kind of evened out. There was a low pitch in the next inning that I think Estrada threw that called the strike.
Yep.
Okay, similar to the one. So, look, the umpire did his thing. The manager did his thing. And baseball just frankly needs more of that. It's entertainment. Is there anybody going to turn the channel as soon as Mike Schilt comes out?
No.
Oh, wait, he's coming out to argue. Nobody.
No one's going to ever turn it off during an argument.
Yes, argue. Arguments are good.
I was trying to read his lips.
Oh, well.
And all I got was, that's 3, bleep.
Well,
3.
Yeah, there was something that started with an F that got out there at least 35 times in a very short span. So
This might be my favorite Mike Shildt quote from his time with the Padres. But after the game last night, quote, "My glasses made it. I did have my head about me to make sure they stayed in the grass.
Yes,
I didn't want them scratched. I like these glasses a lot." That is some bad ass stuff.
That's some great arguing, man, because not many of us have the wherewithal to control your glasses throw when you're that upset. And I will say, I imagine, I'm just guessing because I think I know Mike Shildt a little. I'm pretty sure he'll go out and talk it out and chat it out with Adrian Johnson, who's the third base umpire tonight, and they'll get it over with and they'll move on. And that's the way I think it should be. But, Shildt, say he didn't do that to fire up his team. He did that because he was livid.
Yeah,
There's a difference.
To do that all night.
He was flat out livid. But this is what I loved it. And baseball, because of all of the replay and all of the everything, people are hesitant to argue now. But arguing's fantastic.
It is fantastic.
It's awesome.
After the game, Mike Shildt said something that was really interesting. He said if you look back, his players have probably been ejected less than most of baseball.
I really didn't believe it when I heard that it was the first time ever for Fernando.
No, I
didn't know that.
I'd never seen Fernando get that he didn't even get animated. He just turned around and said something so terrible that Adrian Johnson threw him out of the game.
It wasn't, but the thing was he threw him out of the game, and it wasn't like Fernando questioned it. He just turned around and walked off.
Walked, yeah.
So he knew what he was about to say was going to get him kicked out of the game, and he felt that he needed to say it anyway.
But Shildt was saying, my guys, they are going to play the game. They're not going to worry about the umpires. They're not going to worry about the strikes being called, the balls being called. But in this case, I had to go out there and I had to take some control. And that's exactly what a manager needs to do. And Toddy, after the game, everybody, I love Mike. They call him Mike, by the way, which I think is kind of funny.
Okay.
I love Mike. He's a great manager. He sticks up for all his players. And you know what? When he goes into those press conferences and he might paint a rosy picture out of something that's not rosy, that's what the players look at. They see that he's defending them and they love it. And they want to play harder for him.
I can't say that Mike Shildt's done anything wrong in the 2 years now that he's been the head guy. He's absolutely awesome. I have to look for stuff to try and pick at, but I really, I love this guy and they love him too. And that's more important than me loving him. So one last thing. I'm pretty certain it's 34 games, but that kind of win last night tells me the Padres are just badass.
Yeah.
They're a good team.
They are.
Only good teams do that. In the rain with 13 delays, your starting pitcher can barely get out of the fourth inning because he's waterlogged, and you can't get a hit for 7 innings. And then you get your best player thrown out of the game, and all of this happens, and then you score 4 runs and win the game?
I actually conceded.
That doesn't happen.
No, I conceded defeat last night just
Sure you
because
did.
that's the way the game was going.
Right.
And
You
I
could
didn't
tell.
feel like it was going to turn around. But this team is never out of it. Never.
We're badass this year. We got a good ball club. Let's stick with it and enjoy it. Big 5, some other things going on in the sports world before we head to Sam Levitt's pregame show on 97.3 The Fan.
Quitting.
To get to Scraby's Big Five, and but there's just a few things I got to touch on. I'll go really quick, Scrabe. It is official. Dodgers have placed Teoscar Hernandez on the IL. Grade 1 groin strain, says Dave Roberts.
Oh, that is dangerous.
He's going to be inactive for, quote, a while.
Ooh.
That obviously hurts the Dodgers situation. James Outman has been recalled.
Oh.
But look, I mean, the Padres went without Jackson Merrill for a month. Dodgers' turn now to go without a key player. As far as Jackson is concerned, we're still waiting for the lineup to come in. It's not in yet. Until we see it, he says he's back. He says he's ready. They say he's ready, etc. But I want to see his name in the lineup. We haven't seen that yet. Quickly, Scrabe, this is one of the most incredible Champions League soccer matches ever played. And you soccer fans could, correct me if I'm wrong. But last week, Inter Milan and FC Barcelona played 3-3 in the first leg. Second leg, they played 3-3 again, 6-6. And Inter Milan scored late to get the tying goal and make it 6-6. They're now in extra time to see who goes to the final. Inter Milan has scored to take a 7-6 aggregate lead. There's only a few minutes left. I don't know that I've ever seen a score of 7-6, even with 2 matches combined. So that's going on right now for you soccer crazies. And we didn't mention yesterday that SDFC won 5-0 over the weekend with a you talk about a blowout.
Yeah, that is a blowout.
That is a blowout.
That's like 49-0.
Yeah, Chucky had 2 goals and 2 assists.
Yes.
So congrats to those guys. And the Wave won Sunday night. And the NBA, I don't want to get too into it. Celtics lost. I hate the Celtics. And Denver beat OKC. The road team has won game 1 in all 3 of the series that have been played so far. That's weird. Now, let's get to the Big Five, Mr. Scraby.
It's that time of the show when we check on the latest in sports. Only the most important topics and questions are brought to light.
Stop what you're doing and listen.
These news stories will astound and amaze you. The one, the only.
Oh my God, who the hell cares?
The Big Five starts now on 97.3 The Fan.
All right, before we get into it, I just want to tell everyone, if you're missing out on the chat during the show on YouTube, if you are available to go to YouTube, you should, because it gets kind of crazy at times, and today is one of those times. So search 97.3 The Fan on YouTube, and you'll be able to find the live show, and also subscribe to us, because we are putting up more and more content each and every day from the station. Also, thank you to everyone who signed up for the Scravinator game. It is closed. I have all the names. I will be drawing them in the next couple days. If you signed up, you'll be getting an email regardless if you won or lost.
But, man, wouldn't that be great to win?
Yeah,
get to go sit in the Odyssey box next Monday for Padres Halos and eat Spiros.
Use the private restroom that's there. Hang out with me. Hang out with Chris.
You love the private restroom.
It's my favorite thing in the world.
Well,
there's nothing worse than going to a restroom in a public space.
Let me tell you something. At my age, we all need a private restroom.
Okay,
should go wherever I go.
Oh gosh.
All right. More info than you needed.
If you use the private restroom, please clean up after yourself.
More info than you needed.
If I see one little piece of toilet paper on the ground, we are all going to come. I'm going to get everyone in the suite. Come on over. Who did this?
All right.
We got to keep it. We got to
keep it neat and tidy next week.
Neat and tidy. Baseball coverage of 97.3 The Fan is presented by T-Mobile. Head to T-Mobile.com and get a great deal on an iPhone 16 Pro. Since I'm feeling like giving a bunch of news, before we head into topic number 5, apparently Jake Cronenworth is scheduled to join the El Paso Chihuahuas today and tomorrow as part of his rehab assignment.
I forgot to mention that.
That's okay. He'll be back before we know it. All right.
Number 5.
And if this lineup comes down during this Big Five, I will break in because Jackson Merrill needs to be in the lineup. Okay, with that said. MLB.com asked 20 Major League Baseball executives to name the best value free agent pickup of the offseason, and 6 players were named. 8 executives said Alex Bregman, 4 said Nick Pivetta, 3 said Pete Alonso, and then 1 vote each for Carson Kelly, Jorge Polanco, and of course, Roki Sasaki.
Yeah. No, really, what's he done? He's got 1 win. How can you put him in there with Nick Pivetta?
The executive said it was a long-term play.
Please.
I know.
But you're voting
is that Andrew Friedman?
I don't know who voted that, but if you're voting on what's happened so far.
He's not the guy.
I mean, if it's a long-term play, you could say that, Profar will be the best.
Yes.
Because but you can't say right now he's been the best.
No, but he only got one vote. So it's basically between Alex Bregman. Oh, wait. No, I'm sorry. Everybody forget what I just said. Nick Pivetta's salary is $2.5 million this year. Alex Bregman's is $40 million this year, although he is having a pretty darn good season.
He's doing well, but Pivetta's got to win this.
Okay, who do you think is the best value?
It's not close, and I'm not being a homer.
No, I agree.
It's not close.
I agree. He's got all the crazy stats.
For $2 million, you have a guy right now that could start the All-Star game practically, the way he's pitched.
Yeah, I wouldn't disagree with you on that.
That seems like a no-brainer.
The reason Alex Bregman got 8 was because they said that he was so perfect for the Red Sox organization, and he's gone in and he's done. He's hitting over 300.
No, the reason he got 8 is because of East Coast AL East bias, which exists.
I won't argue with
you
about that. Nick Pivetta is the best value here. He's making $2.5 million a year. He's got a deal for next year that's not anywhere near a ace contract deal. So if he ends up being an ace this year, he's not going to be paid like an ace next year. So Nick Pivetta, to me, $2.5 million is the steal of the year.
So far. But that's what they asked.
So far, yes. Michael King heads back to New York to pitch against the Yankees tonight. We all know how Michael King got here, and that was through the trade of Juan Soto to the Yankees. The Yankees and Soto had a one-year run, which got them to the World Series, but Soto left and went to the Mets in free agency. So here's my question, and I'm up first. How much of a storyline is this for New York sports media today? I went on the app and I tuned into a couple sports shows in New York, and they all at least once talked about Michael King. And
surprised
whether or not he should still be a Yankee type of thing.
Okay, wow.
I think people are indifferent about Michael King or Juan Soto being traded to the Yankees, but this was a storyline. And if I'm in New York, I am talking about this because this trade, although it got you Juan Soto in the World Series loss, you lost Michael King for years on end. So this is a good, juicy radio topic.
Well, you lost Higashioka, and the Padres don't have him anymore.
Yeah.
But
true.
It's kind of interesting, this whole deal, Juan Soto for Michael King and all these other guys. There's only a couple of guys left from it. Michael King and Randy Vasquez are the two that come to my mind.
Johnny Brito's in the minors, and then you got
you have Dylan
Thorpe.
Cease as a result of Drew Thorpe.
Yes.
Yankees have nothing to show except for Trent Grisham, who honestly right now is having a career start to the season. I guess, I didn't realize Michael King pitched 115 games for the Yankees.
All out of the bullpen, basically.
No, 19 starts, but yes, mostly out of the bullpen. That's a lot of appearances over 5 years. I didn't realize he had been there that long, but we got ourselves an ace, and the Yankees should be ashamed of themselves that they never let him start on a consistent basis, because look what they could have had.
I mean, if they would have given him a little bit of a shot. Who's been in their rotation over the years that he just wasn't good enough to crack the rotation? I mean, you got Nestor Cortez.
Yeah, well, they did what they did. Padres have benefited.
All right.
Number 3.
Some more MLB.com fodder over here. They asked their writers to vote for, this is Chris's favorite, to vote for their choice of MVP if the season were to end today. In the AL, all 46 votes went to Aaron Judge. I think there's no competition there.
Mike Trout was in the running, but
Aaron Judge is hitting over 400.
Joking.
Oh, I was going to say.
Was in the running.
I was like, I'm just going to move past that because he only had 13 RBIs and 9 home runs.
Yeah, I don't see how you could vote for anybody other than Aaron Judge. Cal Raleigh maybe get a vote or two for slugging the ball for Seattle, but no, it's a Judge thing.
Bregman could be on that list too.
Yeah,
the National League, though, there are many more thoughts. Coming in first is Pete Alonso with 17 votes for MVP. Then our very own
been good.
Fernando Tatis Jr.
Yeah, Polar Bear's been good, but okay, go ahead.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Hold on.
We get the lineup in?
No lineup, but it does say we have reinstated outfielder Jackson Merrill from the 10-day IL and optioned Luis Campusano back to AAA.
Well, that didn't take long.
That did not take long at all. I did not expect for Luis Campusano's name to be the guy.
Well, he got 3 starts against those left-handed pitchers, and now the lefties are done, so I guess Luis is done as well.
I guess so.
Interesting.
I guess so. But Jackson Merrill, according to the Padres, has been reinstated, waiting for the actual lineup here. and we will give that to you when it comes in. But that was great news. My fantasy lineup is in check now.
Jackson Merrill's back, and we'll confirm his presence in the lineup as soon as we have.
Yes. All right. I was saying it's Pete Alonso, Fernando. If MLB.com voters voted for the MVP,
Fernando got second.
Second with 16.
Okay.
And then Shohei Ohtani has 8, which Shohei Ohtani is a great player, but I don't think he's being an MVP right now. Kyle Tucker with 4, and then 1 undecided, I guess, because Corbin Carroll was mentioned, but he received no first place votes. So putting your fandom aside, Chris, who is your favorite for National League MVP at this moment?
At this exact moment, boy, it's close. It really is. But, Alonso's at 1143 on the OPS.
Yeah.
Fernando's at 943, which is great. That's 200 points lower.
Yeah.
All right. So I got to go with Alonso at the moment. He's walking. He's not K'ing as much as he used to.
No, his K rate is like
way
slashed
down.
in half.
He's got 33 ribs, stakes. He's got the 9 homers. He's got 23 extra base hits. Fernando has 13 extra base hits. I got to go with Alonso right at the moment. But if you ask me, would I rather have Fernando or Alonso? I'd probably rather have Fernando. Fernando's also got, what's he got? 8 steals.
He can do more on the bases.
Alonso doesn't have anything. But yeah.
And he's a great fielder, Fernando.
Fernando's the guy over Alonso, but Alonso would get it at the moment. And I think Kyle Tucker's been really good. And, because the Cubs are, knocking the ball all over the park, you have to consider him. He's got, 9 homers and 9 steals. So, Tucker's there. I think Corbin Carroll's a good mention. And, Fernando, those are my 4. And I agree with you. I don't consider Ohtani to be part of the equation yet. I know he's got 9 homers, 10 steals. But for Ohtani, it hasn't been, a dominating thing.
He's going to be the victim of his own success.
Yeah,
because I at least grade him on a different scale.
He's either going to be the victim of his own success, or they're just going to give him the award at the end of the season like they always do.
So is Ohtani now the new Mike Trout, where just because he plays, he gets the MVP award?
How about Kyle Schwarber? He's having a, monster start as well. There's a lot of guys.
I agree with you. I think Pete Alonso's the guy because he's hitting right now the best in his career by far. He's so locked in. Like you said, strikeout rate down a lot. Fernando's strikeout rate is down a lot. But as we go through the season, Fernando just has this look in his eye like he's going to do some special things this year.
This is May 6th. Let's have a vote. Let's have a vote on June 6th.
I know.
And then have one that really counts on October 6th. I mean, we're a ways off. But all these guys are off to good starts for sure.
It's fun, though.
It is.
Number 2.
All right. So
I don't like that. I like doing that. Oh. I'm always thinking who's the MVP, who's the Cy Young winner right now. I do that.
All right.
I'm into it.
We're going to get to a serious topic here. Justin Tucker was released by the Ravens yesterday, and some people had the same feeling I did about the statement they released. I personally thought it was way too complimentary of someone who is being released because he's under investigation for possibly assaulting 16 different massage therapists in the Baltimore area. Now, GM Eric DaCosta of the Ravens said in a statement, quote, "Sometimes football decisions are incredibly difficult, and this is one of those instances. Considering our current roster, we have made the tough decision to release Justin Tucker. Justin created many significant and unforgettable moments in Ravens history. His reliability, focus, drive, resilience, and extraordinary talent made him one of the league's best kickers for over a decade."
Yeah, the rest of that is just blah, blah, blah.
All right, so I'm up first.
AI wrote the second part of that.
I think AI wrote all of it.
Maybe all of it, yeah.
Do you find the statement with a lack of feel?
A little bit.
Yeah.
But I understand it. He's their guy. He did it for their organization.
But why?
Because I think to leave him completely out in the cold and say, you know what, this guy's, we have deemed that he's a total. Look, they did this before the NFL finished their investigation. All right. They're still in the middle of it.
They know something.
They might, or, they just couldn't deal with the bad press that they were getting any longer.
That's it.
So the fact that they did this early, before the investigation tells me that, they're trying to do the right thing. But he's one of their guys. He's been that for 10 years more, even longer. So it's a little hard to part with him. The key statement of this whole thing, though, is not one came from the GM. It's the one that came from John Harbaugh about a month ago when he said that the kicker situation would be decided based on performance. Okay.
So he set it up.
No, he said it would be based on performance. We know that isn't the case.
Yeah, well, they drafted a kicker.
Yeah, but what have they had any tryouts
But
yet?
now, you know what? It's genius by John Harbaugh, because now they could be, now if Justin Tucker files a grievance or something, they could be like, hey, here, it's performance-based. We didn't think you were good enough.
He did have a bad year for him last year, but we know why they had to do this.
Jeffrey on the chat says, guilty until proven innocent. And believe me, I 100% think about that all the time in these situations.
I do too.
And I don't want to come down on a guy who's done something or who's accused of doing something they didn't actually do. But I have a feeling that the writing seems to be on the wall. And again, that goes against my guilty until proven innocent, because I don't want to do that. But I guess I am going to do that.
Ask who was it who said
Jeffrey.
Jeffrey, is Diddy innocent or guilty?
I don't even want to wade in those waters.
I don't want to go there either. But that's a similar thing, man. There's so much stuff piled against him. But we don't know how that's going to all turn out. And whatever happens is going to happen.
Yes.
There is a video of him dragging a lady and kicking her. That seems pretty damning.
Not Justin Tucker.
Yeah, Diddy. That seems pretty damning to me, but what do I know? I'm not a part of the judicial process.
Yeah, I know. I
don't like to give people their chance.
I don't want to put someone guilty when they're not, but
and don't get us started on due process, because right now that is kind of a thing that's in question in a lot of instances. Thank goodness the lineup came in. We needed to get out of that discussion, so I'm glad to have it.
Leading off, Fernando Tatis Jr. playing right field.
Oh, you're going to make us wait.
Playing
first
string
base. Us along here to let us know whether Jackson's in there.
Batting 3. Second. Batting 3. Third. Manny Machado playing third. In your cleanup position.
They're going to put him right into cleanup?
Jackson Merrill, center fielder. Then you got Bogey shortstop, Sheets DH, Hayward left field, Diaz catcher, Wade second base, and obviously King is pitching.
Okay.
So there we go. He's back, everybody. Whew, he's back.
He's back in a big way. He's back in cleanup.
Oh, we're going to number
messing
1.
Around.
No.
Number 1.
Give me some steaks, Jackson, tonight.
Just run gingerly on that wet outfield grass.
Yes. All right. So I think you saw the play, but last night in a game between the Braves and the Reds, in the bottom of the third inning, Matt Olson hit a opposite field shot towards foul ground in left field, but the Reds left fielder, Tyler Callahan, goes running to try to catch the ball.
Across foul territory.
It slams into the wall.
But first he caught the ball.
He did.
Briefly.
He slams into the wall, and I got to say, snaps his arm in half.
He broke his arm.
Yeah.
He's out. He broke his arm catching the ball.
Yes.
Just to finish describing it, he held on to the ball until he realized his arm was broken.
Yes.
That's
and then he
pretty much
it.
when he let it go and it rolled away.
Now, Matt Olson got it inside the park home run because they never called the play dead. And I saw a lot of fans very upset about this because the dude obviously could not have played. His arm is broken. You can clearly see this. But the rule that I looked up earlier is that umpires can call a ball dead when it's like someone's in serious condition, like getting hit in the head with a line drive or something like that, or if they deem that the player is so hurt that they cannot continue with the play. Matt Olson in this case, I think, should be put on second because this dude could not continue with the play. He did not stop the play because he was making a bad play. He stopped the play because his arm was broken.
He had the ball still in his glove until you almost could have called it a catch and ruled that he let the ball go after his arm broke.
Yeah.
This was a tough one. I'm not an umpire. I'm sure they took a good look at this, in New York, right? It's not like they just decided it on the field, right? They went back. They really took a look. They determined, that the play should continue. And by luck of the draw, Matt Olson ended up with an inside the park 2-run homer.
How do you feel about that?
I agree with you. I think a double would have been fair.
Your fantasy pitcher.
Yeah, it was my fantasy pitcher. Cost me another couple runs, but that's neither here nor there. I think fair would have been a double there, because it wasn't a catch, but I don't think it was a homer either.
Yeah.
This was extenuating circumstances. I mean, the guy's bone was practically sticking out of his arm.
You could see the noodle.
Let him. Yeah, he lets the ball go. Okay, I think I understood that. based on what happened there.
This dude, and I think he's a rookie. He's
right. He was his first game. Well, Austin Hayes just went on the IL 2 days ago. He took his spot. So that's really bad luck for him. Yeah, along with a broken arm.
I mean, I got to give this guy credit though. He did not slow down for this wall.
He put his life on the line to try to make that catch.
He really did.
Yeah, I think they got that call wrong based on the knowledge that you gave me, which says you can call a play dead. Once it's apparent, the fielder can no longer, participate.
Yes, once they're not doing the play anymore, they're so injured.
I think they could have done that, but they did not.
I agree.
It didn't matter too much. Braves won, I think, 4-0. The guy for the Braves almost pitched a no-hitter. Smith Shawver took a no-hitter into the 8th inning. So, all right, do we have a couple minutes left?
Yes, we do.
All right, we got the NBA tonight continuing, Indiana-Cleveland. Indiana won the first game. I think it's hilarious that because of that, everyone has already given up on Cleveland. Like, what? They won like 90 games this year. They played a terrible game one. They do have a couple of guys hurt, I'll say that. But to just write them off seems a little early.
It does.
Golden State's at Minnesota tonight. This series is going to be really fun to watch. Ant-Man and Curry and Gobert and Draymond. And these are just fun playoff teams for me. I enjoy watching both these teams play. So I think that's going to be a good series. Celtics, I told you they blew a 20-point lead last night. What I didn't tell you was that they missed a world record 45 3-point shots in the game.
Yeah, that's not good basketball.
45 misses.
That's just terrible basketball.
I think it is. I can't watch it. The Knicks took advantage of all those misses and won the game. Said the Celtics, Jaylen Brown, after the game, I think we're a little bit off. You think? A little bit off? Maybe.
I mean, 45 threes is
45
just
threes. I added this up, though, Scraby.
Mm-hmm.
In the 2 games last night, there was Denver, OKC, and there was Knicks, Celtics.
Okay.
The 4 teams combined missed 115 3-point shots.
Ugh.
That's a lot of bricklaying that I watched last night.
How many? I wonder how many they made.
I could add it up for you. Maybe 30. They shot about 33%.
That's terrible.
Well,
I mean, that's a good.
It's an okay. It's an okay percent. It's not good. But the point is, they're taking so many, and I don't think it's great for the game. We've been talking about it all season. Celtics are the poster children for it. That's why I root so hard against them. Because if they win it again, it's just going to continue.
Mm-hmm.
People are going to keep copying the champions. So, good luck. Brunson's awesome to watch in the fourth quarter, the way he takes over a game and makes plays. And credit Denver last night. They were beaten for 47 and a half minutes. And they hung in there, and they hung in there, and they hung in there. And then they got the ball, and Gordon hit the winning shot. Denver steals that game. So that's that.
I did see a bunch of threes being missed, and I thought about texting you, but I didn't. Because I knew you'd be feeling the same way.
115 we saw missed last night.
Yeah.
Please drive the ball to the basket once in a while. Sammy Levitt will drive you the rest of the way to the beginning of tonight's Padres-Yankees game. Pre-game show. More Gwynn and Chris tomorrow afternoon on 97.3 The Fan.